Let's start off on our backs and have a block nearby. So we'll start off with knees bent, feet on the floor, and your block within reach. We'll be sliding this underneath the tailbone at some point. But for now, let's just start off with some breath work and sometimes just getting down on the floor, just lying down on the floor can trigger the muscles along the back of your body to soften and let go. So I invite you to just look at the floor as a prop. And it's a prop to give you feedback of the muscles on the floor and to also invite the muscles to let go. So let's just start with a body scan, starting with the feet. Noticing both the left and the right foot. And without looking, are they aligned? Are the toes both facing forward and the outer parts of the feet are lined up with the long edge of the mat? And notice if there's more weight on one foot or if there's more weight on the inside or the outside of the foot. And now let your attention come up to the glutes, the back of the hips. And this is an area where if we pause and just notice, you may notice some differences in how one side relaxes and is a little bit more connected to the floor. And you can let your hands just rest on the front of the hips. Just encouraging those muscles, in particular that psoas muscle, encourage it to soften and let go. And let's just take a few sort of intentional breaths here, focusing on the lower back and the hips. And as you breathe in, the belly expands, and you may even feel the psoas muscles in the front of the hips. You may even feel those rise up to meet the hands. And then as you exhale, let the back of the hips get heavy. And again, use the floor as a prop to give you that feedback of the muscles relaxing. And just repeat this breath and the visualization and the intention of using the breath to expand the front of the body. And then the exhale part of that breath, using it to relax the hips and relax the lower back. Now you can move your hands so that you have one hand on the lower belly and one hand just under the collarbones. Let's try to take a full 3-part breath. So you breathe into the belly, then the ribs, and then the collarbones. And then out collarbones, ribs, lower belly. And just repeat this.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Okay, is this better?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just keep my face towards the screen. Thanks for the feedback. So you're breathing belly, ribs, collarbones, and then exhaling collarbones, ribs, belly. And this can be a challenging action, especially to do on our own, because it can be challenging to take the time out and do this simple breathing practice without our mind wandering about other things to do. Sometimes it's easier to stay focused if it's more challenging or more action, but this can be really, really powerful to just focus on the breath and the sensations in the body. All right, now extend the arms out into a T position so the palms are up. And now we were talking about a bit of raking and bending forward. So here, let's focus on breathing across the chest, across the front of the arms. And then the exhale, can you let your arm bones get a little heavier? And you may want to experiment if you're having a hard time relaxing the arm bones and the shoulder sockets, maybe slide your hands down a little bit or slide your arms down a little bit. So find that sweet spot for you. And once again, just notice left and right. Frequently, our dominant side will be a little higher from the floor. Now heel toe your feet out to the edges of your mat and mindful of the knees as you let the knees flow side to side. So this can be a really nice way to just warm up the front of the hips. And again, if you have the company of a pet or a small child, you can use them as inspiration of how they just organically stretch when they wake up from a nap or first thing in the morning. So rather than looking at this as a chore, maybe allowing it to be just a little bit of self-care. And you can let your head flow side to side so the neck is getting a little bit of movement here. And feel free to linger on one side. Just letting gravity create the stretch. So we're using the floor and gravity as our props. And when you're ready, you can let the knees go to the other side. And just watch and allow the area of the hip to surrender into gravity. And maybe notice how it feels not to force. And then come back up to the center. Heel toe your feet so that they're hips distance apart. Now draw both knees in towards you. Hands are on the knees and then circle the knees away from each other. And this is something you could do in bed before you get up in the morning, just sort of warming up those hip joints. Now, next time the knees are away from you and apart, just pause here and invite that stretch into the lower back. Pressing the knees into the hands into the knees. And then continue the circle. The knees come together and now circle the knees as one. Massaging out the lower back. And if the lower back is achy, you may want to have these circles very, very small. So when we start to feel sort of achy, it can be easier to listen to your body because it's more noticeable, but it is more important also. Because the body actually puts a lot of energy into sending you these messages. And now let's reverse the direction. And then you pause, extend the legs up to the ceiling, let the hamstrings find length, and then just point and flex your feet. So feel a stretch on the tops of the feet. Now, many times the extremities away from the body, the wrists and ankles, they have less circulation. They're further away from the heart. So we can encourage that circulation with gentle movement. Let's reverse direction. Pause, bend the knees. And let's rock on, let's lower the feet down and let's take the block, slide it under the tailbone. So the lower back, the arch is off the block. And just visualize the circulation of both blood and lymph, just sliding down the knees, down the thighs to the heart. Just a couple more breaths here. Again, challenging yourself to do the poses of less movement. And then press into the feet, lift the hips to slide the block out. And now let's come up to table. On hands and knees, spread the fingers wide. Toes curl under, so you're stretching out the feet. Just a couple of cat and cows here. And then let's take this into a more sort of organic movement. Or maybe there's some hip circles. They're stretching out the side body. Let the head and neck move. Other direction when you're ready. And then come to stillness. Walk the hands forward about 3 or 4 inches. Toes stay curled under. Exhale, press the hips back towards the heels for like a puppy stretch. And then inhale up through a long table and let the hips drop just to the point that feels comfortable for you. So slide the shoulders back. And again, you're inviting that stretch on the front of the hips. Now it's going to take a few rounds for your body to warm up. So just take it slow, maybe noticing how the body changes as you repeat this. And again, if the lower back is particularly tender, then be real mindful, like watch the lower back. And if you feel as though it's not arching comfortably, back off a little bit. Remember to slide those shoulders away from your ears. And find a pace that works for you. It feels better to go a little quicker. And then we'll meet up in the table pose, extending the left leg back. Just stretch out those calf muscles. Float the left leg up. So engage the core. And take that left leg over to the right. Look over the right shoulder. Stretch along the side body. Come back to center. Extend the right leg. First, just stretching out the calf. Float the right leg up. Take it over to the left. Look over the left shoulder. Back to center. Let's press back to a child's pose. And you're welcome to take the arms along the sides if that feels like a better option. Maybe use a block for your forehead. And feel the thighs, offering a little massage to the front of the ribs. Try directing the breath into the back of the body. And if this bothers the knees, you can roll up a blanket, put it between the backs of the calves and the backs of the thighs. When you're ready, come back to your table. Have your blocks in the front. And now take your right foot forward for a low lunge. So this is what I like to do when I get up in the morning before walking, is this lengthening of the leg and then bending. And sometimes I'll just stay here for a while. And it just feels so good to allow the back of the leg to just stretch. And sometimes it feels really good to just stay here and allow the front of that left thigh to just release. Just watch it release. So take this at a pace that feels good for you and pause where you like. And I find that sometimes I may do a similar pattern a couple of days in a row, and then it shifts and a new pattern is necessary. Next time the front knee is bent, pause here, and then lift up the back leg. Now, can you really press through that back knee? So a lot of times there's a little bit of a softness here. Can you really activate the leg, pressing through the heel? And then the same thing, straightening and bending. And I say straightening, but the leg does not necessarily, the front leg does not necessarily go straight. And then lower the back knee down and take the front knee to meet it. And we'll just switch sides. So when you're ready, you go through the lengthening and bending. And this might remind you of how the first side felt when you first started doing it. Hopefully you're feeling a little less creakiness, a little bit more mobility, a little more warmth. This is a great sequence to just close your eyes and again, maybe imagine one of your pets or just some creature that still just organically stretches. When you're ready, the front knee stays bent. You lift the back leg and you resume your flow. Next time the knee is bent, drop the back knee. Front leg comes back to meet it. Table pose and then downward dog. Pedal out organically, stretching what needs to be stretched. Noticing if having your dog a little shorter would allow you to get more length in the lower back. Nice, Cindy, that's nice. Nice adjustment there. Yes. Nice. Just a couple more breaths. And then lower the knees down. I'm just going to slide into a forward fold at the back of the mat. And inhale, rise. Gentle bend. Exhale, release the arms down. Just roll out the shoulders, focusing on the back shoulder blades, just draping down the back. Right. Good morning. Raise the arms up. Maybe you can imagine the sun beaming on your face as it rises up over the horizon. And then just like you're pulling down on one of those lap bars, pull the arms down, chest lifts up. And two more times. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, elbows draw down, chest rises. Inhale, rise up one last time. Exhale, elbows draw in. Inhale, arms rise up. Pause here. Flip the left palm up, grab the wrist, stretch to the left. Let's start with the gaze down towards the floor. Roll your right shoulder back a little bit. Invite the stretch along the rib cage. Inhale back through center and switch. Right palm flips up to the ceiling and then you stretch. Gaze to the floor, draw the left shoulder back. Back to the center. Release the arms down. All right, so we'll do a modified sun salutation. Inhale, reach up, stretch. Let the palms come together Exhale. As you fold forward, lengthen, 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 lengthen the spine, lengthen the back of the legs. Let the hands come to the thighs. Press into the thighs, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen the lower back. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. And then bend the knees, come into your chair pose. Weights in the heels. Core is engaged. Can you sit a little lower? Can you float the toes? Then inhale, rise. Gentle back bend. So we were just flexing here. So now we want to open it up to allow that blood flow. Elbows come down along the sides, chest lifts. 2 more times. Lift up and then bend the elbows. Inhale up, last time. Exhale, draw the elbows in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, palms come together. You lengthen, 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 lengthen. Press the hands onto the thighs. Nice long spine. Now hands come to the blocks. Step the left leg back, lower the knee down. Let's just do a couple of these lengthen and bends that we did in the beginning. Pause when the knee's bent. Inhale, reach the arms up. Notice that by reaching the arms up, you're increasing the stretch on that left psoas. Elbows bend down towards the side, chest lifts. 2 more times. So again, we're doing a lot of folding forward, rounding the upper back. So this is designed to sort of reverse some of that. After 3, pause. Hands to the blocks. Lift the back knee off the mat. And then 3 rhythmic vinyasas where we bend and extend. And you'll pause with the knee bent. Use your block to the inside of the left foot. Inhale, get length. Right hand on the right hip. And then you begin to twist the ribs. Maybe you extend that right arm up. Actively pressing through the left heel. Exhale, come back. Lower the back knee down. Take the front knee back to meet the back knee. Puppy pose. Arms stretch forward. Anahata Asana. Slither into your Sphinx pose. Now again, use the floor as a prop to release the front of the hips, to release that psoas muscle by just gently rocking side to side. Let your head flow. And either stay here in your Sphinx pose or take some form of a forearm plank by either lifting belly, maybe hips, maybe thighs. And we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower down. Let's come on to the left hip, left forearm. Cross your right foot over. Use your right hand and your left foot. Press and lift up. Maybe extend the right arm. Release down. Come back to your Sphinx pose. Press up through table. Back to downward dog. We can use this dog as a counter stretch, pedaling out the legs and shifting the weight. Use gravity to create traction along the neck. And if you're looking for more length in the lower back, you can shorten your dog. You can also bend the knees. Walk your hands back to your feet. You're in a forward fold at the back of the mat. Let's just do sort of a seaweed sway. And using gravity, create space between the vertebrae of the neck. Let the arms relax out of the shoulder socket. And then hands come to the hips. Root down through the feet and then inhale, you rise. Pause for a gentle back bend. Just let the front of the hips breathe. Come to neutral. And let's walk to the front. So I want to just check in, see how everyone's doing before we do the other side.
Good.
All right, any questions?
Nope.
All right. Inhale, reach up. So really focusing on creating space and length. So you fold forward, but as you fold forward, you keep lengthening, 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 lengthening. Then hands come on the thighs. You press into the thighs. You lengthen more. There's even a little bit of an arch in the lower back here. Then you bend the knees, come into your chair pose. Now this time you're going to have a little fun. Shift the weight into the balls of the feet. So the heels lift. A little wobbly. It might take a little while to kind of find your balance. And then see if you can stand up straight while keeping the heels lifted. And then lower down. Nice. Inhale, reach up. Gentle back bend. Exhale, fold. Lengthening. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Step the left leg back, lower the knee. You've got your low lunge. Have your blocks. And do your flow. Do 3 rounds of that pause. Float the arms up. Draw the ribs, draw the elbows into the ribs 3 times. After the 3rd time, hands come to the blocks. Back knee lifts up. Lengthen and bend. Now, if it's difficult to do this with the back knee lifted, you just keep it down. You can keep it down all through the twist. Pause with the front knee bent. The right hand comes on the block to the inside. And we start with the left hand on the hip. Inhale, get length. And then twist the ribs. And then maybe the left arm extends up. Exhale, release it down. Lower the right knee. Take the left knee back to meet it. Downward dog. Let's shift your body into plank position. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. Lower the knees. Press back, puppy pose. slither into Sphinx pose and let the body rock side to side. Pause. And then take a variation of forearm plank. We'll hold for 5 breaths. Release down. Come onto the right side. On your right forearm, right hip, cross the left leg over, your left hand in front. And then press into your anchors. The right forearm, the outside of the right leg, and the left foot. Maybe the arm extends up just for a blip. And then you lower down. Let's come into crocodile pose. Let the forehead rest on the back of the hands. Bend the knees, let the legs flow. We'll do some back strengthening. Release the legs long. Extend the arms long. Float the left leg off the mat and the right arm. Lower down. Float right leg, left arm. And we're just going to float side to side here. Lifting and lowering. Lift, lengthen, lower. 3 L's. Gaze is towards the floor. And then release to your crocodile pose. Legs, windshield wiper. Roll out the forehead. Release the legs down. Press up through table. And back to downward dog. And use the dog to stretch out whatever needs to be stretched. Nice. And when you're ready, walk your hands back to your feet. Another seaweed pose. And hands come to the hips. Inhale, press into the feet as you rise up. Nice. All right, does everyone have a piece of furniture to sit down and stand up from? Could be a bed or a chair.
Yeah.
Okay. This'll get, so you want to just sit on the edge. I think most of you have done this before. This will get the heart rate up. Feel free to add extra sits if you find that just angle this a little better. So we'll start both feet on the ground, press into the feet, rise up and lower down. Press into the left foot, rise up, lower down. Press into the left foot, lift the right leg. and lower down. 2 more times. Now you can use the right leg as much as you like. You may, you may find it's handy for balance. We just got 2 more of these and then we'll do the other side. All right, both feet as a transition. Press into the right foot, just the right foot. Maybe float the left leg up. And you might find that you have the left foot up going down, but you want to use it going up. Just notice. And again, it can be interesting to notice the difference in the 2 sides. Just 2 more. And then let's do both feet on the ground. And that's it. Got a little bit of a heart going there. All right. So we'll take you'll come back to your mat. That was just a little heart pump, a little bit of hit. And we'll do some crescent lunge into balance sequencing. Inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. Exhale, just draw the hands through the center of the chest. They come to the hips. Right leg steps by. Crescent lunge if you can. The heel is lifted. Maybe you add the arms. Maybe you add the flow. You might feel again that right psoas is getting more of a stretch here, just like we were doing in the low lunges. Pause with the arms up. On your exhale, fold forward, arms reach back, ribs hover to the inside of that front leg. Really press into that heel, fire up the glutes of the front leg, and then inhale, you rise. Step the back foot up. Inhale, arms reach up. Palms together, just slide them down through the center of your chest. Step the left leg back. Maybe add the arms. So again, this is somewhere where having your hands on the back of a chair can be handy. And then you flow. Straighten and lower, bend and reach. And be mindful of the lower back. If it feels at all pinchy, don't bend the knee as much. Next time the knees bend, pause here. And then exhale, dive forward, arms reach back, ribs hover, core is engaged, jaw is relaxed. Then inhale, rise up, step the back leg up. All right, one more round, adding on. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let's fold halfway. Press the hands into the legs, nice long spine. Right leg steps back for that crescent lunge. All right, so I think we did this last week. We're going to, the option, and this is where having your hands on something can be helpful. We're going to come into warrior 3, stork pose, maybe eagle. I'll demonstrate it first because it can be really difficult to balance when you're watching the screen. So I'll just go through it quickly. So the back leg would float up. Then you would bring the knee up. Then you would wrap. All right, I'll cue you now. So shift the weight onto that front foot. Begin to float the back leg as you straighten the front knee. Level off the hips. And then bring that right knee up to the right ribs. So you're in stork pose here. Bend the standing leg. Wrap the right leg around, or maybe you rest it on a block. Arms out to the sides. Right arm under left. Unwrap everything. Take a gentle back bend. Exhale. Release into neutral. Any questions on that? All right. Let's do the other direction. Inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs. Nice long spine. Left leg steps back. You've got your lunge. Focus on that front foot. Begin to shift the weight. Notice where the weight is on that front foot. Float the back leg as you straighten the front leg. Lower that left hip so you're activating the core. Then bring that left knee up in towards the ribs. Bend the standing leg, wrap the leg around. Arms out like a T, left arm under right. Unwrap everything. Nice gentle back bend. Exhale, float the arms down. Just roll out the shoulders. All right. You guys want another standing sequence or ready for the ground? I got a thumbs down. I got an I don't care. Two thumbs downs. All right.
I'm ready for the ground.
All right.
But if everybody else wants to stand, I'm just going to lie down.
No, you weren't the only one. So we can hit the ground. So let's come onto our backs and have a tie handy. This is actually good because we can do some good lower back stuff here. Have your blocks handy, have a tie. And if you want to put your socks on, you can. And when you're ready, we'll meet up in the starting position where you're laying on your back with your knees bent. And just notice with a scan of your body, how the feet connect and how the hips connect and the arms and the shoulders. And just noting if it feels any different than when you started out. Now, draw the right leg in towards you and extend the left leg long. All right, here's the challenge. Can you relax your arms? So you may need to let your right leg come out to the right side of the rib cage so that the right elbow can rest on the floor. So this is a little different than how we traditionally do this pose. Can you relax the shoulders, relax the jaw? Relax the back. Just observing the breath flow in and out. Acknowledging the challenge of doing slow, uncomplicated things. The challenge of letting the mind stay here in the present moment. And now letting that right knee move back to the center. And if it feels okay on the right knee, maybe clasping on the shin, if that feels okay. Let the hips roll forward ever so slightly so the lower back lifts just a teeny bit off of the floor. And then let it roll back. Now float the left leg off the floor. And I'll just slowly let that left leg rise up towards the ceiling. And it might take a few breaths. As it's rising up, just notice maybe when you feel the quad muscles kick in, when you feel the core kick in, when you feel the lower back kick in. And if anything kicks in that shouldn't, just bend the knee and you can place the leg down. You can skip through some of these areas if it feels like the sensation you're feeling is not beneficial to your body. But as you lower down, when you feel that area that you're feeling right in the front of the core, right on the left oblique, just hover there. Hover and breathe. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Now, can you take that left leg out to the left while keeping the pelvis stationary? And then just lower it to the ground. Take a couple of breaths. And then inhale, float the left leg off the ground. Slide it back to the center. And then lower it down. Enjoy a few breaths here. Use your block, have it on the left side of the body, and then let that right bent leg come across the body, maybe finding the block. So a gentle spinal twist. Once again, the body scan to notice which parts of the body are relaxing against the floor and which parts are suspended. And maybe there's a little adjustment that you can make. Notice where you feel your body opening. Breathe into that area. Maybe you visualize the breath traveling there, creating a little more space. Inhale back to the center. Give that right knee a little hug. And extend the right leg long as you extend extend the arms overhead. Press through the right heel and extend through the left fingertips. And then switch. Press through left heel, right fingertips. And relax. Draw both knees in. Hands come on the knees. Circles. Massage out that lower back. And feel free to pause. And maybe pulse. So if the right hip is a little cranky, maybe you just pulse there a little bit, stretching it out. And then clasping behind the left thigh, resting the right foot on the mat. Extend the right leg long, and that left leg comes out to the left side of the body. Try to relax the shoulders, the arms, the jaw. Come back to the center. Feels all right on the knee, clasping the front of the shin. Roll the hips forward and then roll the hips back. Float the right leg up, slow, 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 slow. Just doing a little investigation of the different sensations. You can lower it down that you feel as the leg is at different heights. Remember to breathe. There's a strong tendency to hold the breath. And you're just going to hover the leg when you feel that right oblique engaged. And now the right leg goes out to the right. Notice if it goes a different distance than the left. Lower it down. Let it relax. Relax in the hip socket. Then float the right leg up. Can you slide it back to the midline? And then lower it down. Enjoy a few breaths here. Inviting ease into the lower back. And then draw the right knee in to meet the left. Just give them a little hug. Then extend them long. Arms extend, legs extend. Walk the legs over to the left. Grab the right wrist and stretch the right upper body to the left, creating a banana shape. Come back through center. Legs to the right. Grab the left wrist, arch to the right. Come back to the center. Just notice if there's any final poses or movements that would feel good in your body before Shavasana. Allowing the floor to be a prop. That encourages your body to just let go. Scanning your body and once again, just noticing with the legs extended, does the right foot turn out more than the left? And not trying to correct or fix anything, just noticing. Noticing how your body lands. Feeling the backs of the calves against the floor. The back of the thighs. Back of the hips. The lower back. Compare left and right. Notice the back of the ribs, and as the breath expands into the ribs, feeling the feedback from the floor. Feel the backs of the shoulders and how the arms connect to the floor. Notice the space behind the neck and where the head connects to the floor. And notice the muscles on the face, the forehead, around the eyes, around the mouth, and the jaw. Notice the breath along the torso, where it creates a sense of expansion. And then notice the front of the legs. Allowing them to be heavy, completely relaxed. And you rest in stillness. Now allow your next breath to be a little bit longer and a little bit deeper. Invite gentle movements. Your own time, slowly transitioning to your side, enjoying a pause. And making your way up to seated when you're ready. Taking a moment of gratitude for your practice. And if you'd like to join me in a chant of Om, take a deep breath in. Namaste. You guys.